Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily UPSC MCQ series Mission 2020 we are taking here, and I uploaded 8th June lesson last night, and I will upload 7th and 6th June lessons tonight, and this is 10th June today, and we are taking important questions, and these are the current affair based questions where some context if it is there in some static portion, then we are also discussing that. So give me your feedback about these questions, about these lessons, and how you are getting them, about the speed, about the understanding, and I want all of those from your side. So let's start the lesson. These are the numbers where you can call and ask for these pen drive courses, and these are numbers, and all are available at 60% off for the newcomers. These are great courses. The pen drive courses and the Android courses all are available here. Here you will get the PDF on the Facebook group if you are not on the Telegram. If you are on the Telegram, the Telegram link of the StudyIQ is also given there, and my Telegram channel's link is also given on this Facebook page. So here you can get that. Now, National Center for Good Governance (NCGG) is an autonomous institute that is correct, but not under Niti Aayog. It is under DARPG, under Ministry of Personnel. So Niti Aayog is wrong here. First statement is not correct. Why this is important? Because a recent context as the Prime Ministerial visit to Maldives that happened, and there an MOU was signed between NCGG and the Civil Service Commission of Maldives, where we are going to train their civil servants and all. And this is the most important institution regarding the good governance training and all these research and all, and it is there in Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy or in Mussoorie, where we all dream to reach there. So this NCGG that may be asked next year. PM is not the chairperson, cabinet secretary is the chairperson of the governing body here. So we will talk about that, and both are wrong statements here. D, none is the answer. You can see NCGG, Autonomous Institute, under the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, and under Ministry of Personnel it comes. The head office is there in New Delhi, and the registered office is there in Mussoorie, where this Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration is there. And there used to be a body called NIR, National Institute for Administrative Research, and it was established in 1995 at the same place. After 19 years, it was revamped and it was made a National Center for Good Governance. So that became much more important. And regarding the carrying out of policy relevant research, preparing case studies, curated training courses for civil servants from India and other developing countries. So all these things are the responsibilities of this NCGG. So that's very, very important. Objectives are given here. You can read the text here given in the PIB and the official website of it. So these are the objectives, the same things. And there is a governing body. You see, cabinet secretary is the chairperson. Secretary of Department of Personnel Training is the vice chairperson here. So prime minister is nowhere there. Members are also there from academic institutions and other reputed institutes, and from ministries and departments also. Okay. The case which was appearing in the PIB data today, that NCGG, India's leading civil service training institution, has entered into an MOU with the Maldives Civil Service Commission for capacity building of 1,000 Maldives civil servants over the next 5 years. So that's the most important information. And you see, all expenses will be borne by Ministry of External Affairs. That is the case. And NCGG will be the nodal institution for designing customized training module for these Maldives civil servants. So that is the case, and that's why NCGG becomes important, and out of the context this is the important information. Next, National Strategy for Wellbeing 2031. It was recently adopted by which country? Tell me. This is by UAE. And as being a very advanced country, a very rich country, and they are actually changing their lanes, both these Saudi Arabia, UAE, all these countries, because they do not see the same kind of economy in the future, and many changes they are making in their respective countries, and they are being more liberalized now, and UAE is adopting this national strategy. It's a full-fledged target based study and strategy for 2031. 12-year target is there, and there is also a target for 2071 that is called UAE Centennial 2071. So it is also being supported here with this strategy. Important is that it has a great initiative called National Wellbeing Observatory. For the first time, they are establishing this Wellbeing Observatory, and one they are establishing as National Wellbeing Council, and they will be managing all these issues. Three main levels are there: individual level, society level, and country level. So why that's important? Because as I told you, it's a rich country and it can take great decisions there. They can adopt great levels of finances and important policies they can make, a rich policy they can make. So these can be copied by other nations, because this kind of experimentation can easily be done by UAE. They have the capacity, so that's why a kind of an ideal policy can be run there. So that's great thing. And the chairman would be Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who is the vice president, prime minister, and the ruler of Dubai. That is the case. Okay, 9 strategic objectives will be there, 14 components will be there, and 40 priority areas will be there. Next, Mount Sinabung. Mount Sinabung recently erupted. It's an active volcano in Sumatra Island of Indonesia. As I explained to you, the issue of Pacific Ocean, all around the Pacific Ocean there are continents. Asia here, and again here Asia, and below that Australia, New Zealand are somewhat far away, and North America, South America, West Indies, and this area may be called East Indies of these Indonesia and all these islands. So all around this area is actually called Pacific Rim of Fire. Why? Because the oceanic plate, that is a denser plate, that is subsiding below the continental plates of these continents, and that is why because of this submergence, a lot of heat and pressure is created below the ground, and all around its circle all active volcanoes are erupting, and that is why due to these volcanoes this is called Pacific Rim of Fire. And Indonesia is a very ideal place here. Indonesia as a country which is made up of many islands, and here more than 130 active volcanoes are there. 130 active volcanoes, huge number of volcanoes are here. And volcanoes are also there in Japan, like Mount Fujiyama is the most famous one, and in West Indies area Mount Pili and all these are present there, and in Indonesia Mount Krakatoa, Agung, and this Sinabung is present there. Okay, so this is the region, and because of the same region Japan has 3-4 earthquakes a day because of these plate boundary movements, because this is the edge, and this oceanic plate is submerging under the continental plates. Why? Because continental plates are made up of silicon aluminum, that is a lighter one, less density, and less density will go up and higher density will go down. So this is how these trenches are created. Mariana Trench, Japan Trench, Tonga Trench, these are created because of the same movement of the plate under the continental plate. So that is the case. And Sinabung was in the news recently in month of May, means the very last month. The Mount Agung that got erupted, and that is there in Bali Island of Indonesia, and this Sinabung is in Sumatra Island. Sumatra is the closest one from Andaman and Nicobar. So this was asked in UPSC Prelims 17 also, and Mount Sinabung volcano is in Sumatra Island, Western Indonesia, because you see this is Sumatra, and here Andaman Nicobar are ending, and it's a very near to it. Sinabung 2475 meters high, and you can see the picture here. You see two kinds of volcanoes are there: acidic lava volcano and basaltic lava volcano. What is the difference? Acidic volcano has more silica, okay, and that is the reason that it is much more viscous. Viscous means it will not flow easily, and the basaltic one, it is more liquid in form, less viscous. That means it will flow easily, and when it can flow easily, then gases can pass through it, but gases will be trapped in the acidic volcano, and that is why there is huge amount of blast in these kind of volcanoes. So that is why these volcanoes are much more dangerous. They are blasting, and composite volcanoes are normally found. And basaltic volcano is a kind of a fissure volcano. It will open in a fissure and it will start spreading in this area. So because it flows more, so basaltic lava flows more. So Deccan lava was the basaltic lava, and that is why it trapped and it created a plateau region, not any mountain. If the Deccan lava would have been acidic lava, then there would have been huge mountain there. So that is the case with these important and destructive volcanoes. These are mainly acidic volcanoes, acidic lava volcanoes. So that is the case, and these are the famous volcanoes in Indonesia. Krakatau, very famous. Merapi, very famous. Sinabung, very famous. Mount Agung, the most famous one. And Rinjani, Tambora is also very famous here. Okay, in 2010, after 400 years, Sinabung got activated, and in 14 year it got erupted again, and again in 16, and now in 19. So that is the case. You see huge trail of these volcanoes. Many are there. You can see the map. It's a very important map. South China Sea, Vietnam, Malaysia, half part of Malaysia here in this Borneo island. You see this whole is Borneo island, but 3 countries are there on this Borneo island. It is Indonesia's Borneo, this is Malaysia, this is Brunei. So they may ask you about that. It is Malaysia, this is Sumatra island, and this area is called Strait of Malacca. Very important for trade, and maximum amount of ships and all, they are moving through this Strait of Malacca. And this is Java Sea, it is Java Island, it is Bali Island, where this Mount Agung is located. This is Mount Agung, and this is Celeb Sea between Philippines and Indonesian island, and Strait of Makassar is here. Strait of Makassar, this is Strait of Malacca. Okay, Banda Sea, Arafura Sea, Timor Sea. Normally UPSC asks these seas many times. So these are in the eastern part of Indonesia. This is New Guinea and Papua New Guinea. Philippines Sea, east to Philippines. Philippines also made up like Indonesia. Various islands are there. So that is the case, and a very famous area to be asked for the map questions. Next, G20 ministerial meeting. You see 8 ministerial meetings are happening. G20 group, where we are also a member. 20 members are there, 19 countries, and 1 European Union is there. So 8 important ministerial meetings are happening in Japan this year. First time the rotating presidency Japan has got, and in various cities these are happening. One meeting is trade and digital economy meeting, that is being held on 8th and 9th June. That means it's completed, and it happened in Tsukuba, an important academic center in Japan. Tsukuba, Ibaraki prefecture in Japan. And this is correct. Second is also correct, because it is the first time that ministers of Mighty Ministry and the Commerce Affairs Ministry, these two are participating in a joint session on digital economy in G20 ministerial meeting. So this is again correct. This data appeared in PIB, so it becomes much more important. C, both would be the answer here. You can see Japan's presidency, it is first ever rotating presidency in G20. So series of ministerial meetings, and it is to promote trade and investment and maximize benefit from development of a digital economy. And you see, based on digital economy, digitization, and the governance issues, we will have a very smart future, and a different kind of society would be there. So they are giving a concept of society 5.0, and this 5.0 and anything you can call 5.0 would be a futuristic human-centered society. So this concept was also discussed there. So they may ask you about that. Next, trade and digital economy is one of the 8 ministerial meetings. This is also happening for the agriculture ministers, finance ministers, and health ministers, and all others are given here. And as I told you, G20 made up of 19 countries. These are the countries plus European Union. And G20 members represent 2/3 of the world's people, 85% of its economy. So that's a great thing about that. Mainly these advanced countries, top 20 countries are there in G20 group. Next, World Food Safety Day 2019. It was observed on 7th of June. This is the first ever World Food Safety Day. That is correct. WHO and FAO, they both were very much instrumental here, and under United Nations authority from the General Assembly, this was declared after a resolution in December 18, and it was declared that on 7th of June we will be celebrating World Food Safety Day. In India also it was celebrated by FSSAI and the minister in some ministries also. And eat less, eat right is the theme in India. It is not the global theme. Global theme was food safety and everyone's business. This was the global theme. First ever World Food Safety Day. So the answer would be 1 and 2. Third is wrong here. Mr. Harshvardhan, the minister there, he also talked about this important issue there. World Food Safety Day, WHO and FAO, both are important here related to food. And you see FAO and IFAD. FAO and IFAD. IFAD is the important fund for agriculture development, and this FAO. These two bodies, they are having their headquarters in a single country, Italy, and Rome is the place where the headquarters is there. So you can remember that General Assembly, United Nations General Assembly, that passed this resolution in December 18 regarding this Food Safety Day. And you see, it's an important public agenda. Out of 10 people, every one person is diseased because of the contaminated food consumption. So more people are getting sick because of the contaminated food, and this is a huge problem in the developing and the least developed countries. So more than 600 million, means around 60 crore people, they are the victims of foodborne disease and unsafe food, and $95 billion are wasted in these kind of issues, premature death, disability, illness, and huge loss in the economies. So that is the case. Next issue, National Clean Air Program. You see similar programs are there, and this NCAP, Clean Air Program, that was launched in January 19 by Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. Okay, so that is the case. One more program is there by CPCB. I will talk about that. NCERT, first we talk about that. NCERT is much more important because it is the first time bound program action plan where they are targeting 2024 for around 20 to 30% reduction of PM 2.5 and PM 10 concentration, and in 102 cities, and especially 43 cities are coming under the Smart Cities program. So these will be the targeted cities. Why? Because India is having the maximum number of polluted cities in this world. So this becomes much more important here. And you see the state pollution control boards, they will be tying up with the leading academic institutions in all the states. And one important nodal academic institution, that is IIT Kanpur, that is given this responsibility as a nodal academic institution, and it will be leading all other institutions in all the states. And this is a tripartite MOU with all the institutions in the states, respective SPCB and Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. 17 states signed this particular issue. And the important thing is that in this world, 3% of the land is occupied by cities, but they contribute 82% of the GDP and 78% of the carbon dioxide. So the huge concern for the cities, and here we are targeting cities. And the most important issue is the pollution. We are failing here very miserably, and we need to take care here, we need to focus here. And this program becomes much more important because there is a concept of accountability here, because it is a time bound manner. 2019 to 24 would be the time period, and base year they are taking as 2017, means they will be comparing the 17 data from here, and it will be a mid-term 5-year action plan, 19 as the first year. So this first year is going on, and Smart Cities program will be helping here. 43 smart cities will be targeted here, and in total 102 non-attainment cities will be taken. So that is the case, and all these ministries will collaborate here. Multilateral, bilateral institutions will also be under it, philanthropic foundations and all, they all will be helping here. Okay, so these details may be asked by UPSC in Prelims examination, and in the Mains examination you can write about that. Next, the similar program as I was talking about, it was by CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, and the name is NAMP, National Air Quality Monitoring Program. That was NCAP, and that is NAMP. They are targeting 4 air pollutants: sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, respirable particulate matter or PM10, and PM 2.5, particulate matter 2.5, that is the smallest one. So this is the 24-hour monitoring twice a week and 104 observations in a year. That is the case. And CPCB, State Pollution Control Board Pollution Committees, National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, NEERI, which is there in Nagpur, they all will be carrying out these important monitoring program, and there will be uniformity all around these cities and all over the country. 312 cities and towns and 29 states, 6 union territories, they all will be covered by this NAMP program. So it is executed by CPCB. Okay, so that is the most important information, and you may confuse between both these NCAP and the NAMP. So these two are by Ministry of Environment and the CPCB. So thanks a lot. Keep watching, and we will meet again tomorrow with important lessons. Thanks a lot. Keep watching. Give your feedback.